good afternoon and welcome to you all tuning in from South Africa's most southern tip all the way to North Africa. This is, of course, your weekly serving of all that you need to know that's been happening in the world of showbiz right here on Trendz with me, Refil Wimweedwa, coming to you live from the SABC in Johannesburg. Now, I hope you didn't miss me too much, but I do aim to please. I'm glad to be back, and to make up for it, I will be playing fairy godmother to one of you who stands a chance to win double tickets to the Sunsets Festival. So keep watching as I'll give you all the details a little bit later. Now, in our first story for the day, of course, this whole week we've had a very, very tough week in the entertainment industry, and despite the shock, crashing waves of sadness and despair at the state of the entertainment industry, it was a day of laughter, some tears, and very, very fond memories as industry veterans took us all on a wondrous trip down memory lane on the life and times of a giant who now rests in peace after giving literally his whole life. That's a whole 40 years of a career to being a consummate actor, comedian, writer, musician, and everything you can think of. And Dade Joe Mafela passed away in a car accident last weekend at the lovely, lovely, beautiful age of 75.
Actor, musician, director, comedian, and an all-round entertainer. These are some of the hats worn by late Joe Mafela. Those who took to the podium at the memorial spoke emotionally about Joe, describing him as a loving person.
He was the loveliest person you could ever come across. A friend to everyone. Ujo being in a class, but he was very disciplined. And he was very professional.
He brought something into our television screens and into our theater space. It's a comedy that no one could ever think that they could ever pull off. But the simple thing that he did is to put on a child's face on an old man. So every time you see that Joe Mafela do something, he goes, where's the old man? That was his best selling point.
Mafela's acting career spans over 5 decades, and his son Jimmy described his father as a man of many talents.
You know, everything he did, he has never been jealous for anybody. He had never had issues with any human being. So I think he just had a lot of wisdom.
Another memorial service for Mafela will be held at the SABC on Monday. His funeral service will be held next week, Wednesday, at the University of Johannesburg, Soweto campus.
What a life he lived indeed. May his soul rest in peace. Now, Ghanaian artist Gideon Appa is currently showcasing a solo exhibition titled Between a Life and Its Dream at the Absa Gallery in downtown Johannesburg. Now, Appa, who was a winner of the first Merit Award by Barclays L'Atelier in 2015, expresses his fascination and concern regarding contemporary media and popular culture through his art. Take a look.
Between Life and Its Dream seeks to provoke thoughts of the viewer about life and religion. Gideon Appa uses a myriad of mediums including text, images, found objects as well as collage to express his views on the social, cultural and economic landscapes of Accra's urban spaces. We met with the curator at the gallery, Dr. Paul Bayliss, who explains why this exhibition is gracing our shores.
Gideon's work reflects very much from where he's come from, and I think that's what we see about many of the artists whose work we encounter today. It's really much built on their life experience or a reflection of the environment that they find themselves in. So what Gideon has done between a life and its dream is he's capturing where he's come from, where he's grown up, very much the slums of Ghana, outside Accra and that. And you would see that what he's done with the works is very much a graffitied style, but at the same time he's built in a lot of layering into the work.
The L'Atelier Art Competition seeks to give an opportunity to the recipients as well as expose young and emerging artists who participate in the competition. Gideon's works mostly reflect issues around religion, intimacy and wealth amongst other themes.
And what we do in terms of the artists that come through the Absa Gallery is we say they need to have been part of the L'Atelier art competition. That L'Atelier has been running for 32 years, historically or initially first in South Africa, and now it is open to the 10 countries across the continent where we as Barclays Africa have a presence. And it's open to artists 21 through to 35 years of age. So whether you're self-taught, whether you're professionally trained, anyone is welcome to enter the competition. And we say to artists, those that have come through, we will offer them either a solo, so like Gideon, he was a Merit Award winner in 2015. Part of his prize was spending then 3 months at the bag factory in Johannesburg.
Not only has Apar sought for recognition here in South Africa, but in his country too, where he was chosen as one of the top 10 finalists for the Kwenye Ha Art Prize for Contemporary Ghanaian Arts. Between Life and Its Dream, which opened this past weekend, will run until the 20th of April at the Absa Gallery.
Now, earlier you saw the bit of a tribute that we had to Ntate Joe Mafela, who passed away last week, as I said. And joining me now in studio, I'm joined by Mama Lillian Dube and Ntate Don Mlangeni. Now, welcome to studio. As I said just earlier, you know, it's so sad that I have to interview you at a time like this when, of course, both of you, I'm sitting here with legends in the industry. And it's a bittersweet time because here we are, news comes that, you know, Ntate Mafela passed away and just, you know, working with him, or what are some of the fondest things that both of you remember about him? Because I don't think there's a whole lot that's sad that people remember about him. He was such a fun and jovial person. Mama, you can go first.
Ngwanaka batho ba se ba di buile kaofela. Ke bua Sekgowa kapa ke bua Sesotho?
O ka bua anything, ma.
Batho ba buile dintho tsa jo kaofela ke batle o etsa repetition. Nna nka o jwetsa hore the last days tsa jo ke phetse le yena. And then turning emo thabisa le kaofela. Mosadi wa Ntate Jo ke ngwanana wa diphiring haraboroko Lesotho kwana.
Okay.
Joale o na mpitsa sister-in-law a re honna he Lilian ke isa ausi yao on a cruise re ya kwana Mozambique. Ale excited ke re wena o ka se wa ya Mozambique ke di saftara ba mmema ke re le nna ke ya pitiki nkwaqo ha ba mmema gwele ke ya pitiki re tshehe mo no re bua ka ntho tsa gale hore re qadile jwang ebile a mpolella hore a ke le rona tseisa le nna ke a tseisa ha re le babedi ha re tseisa.
Are you serious?
No.
How can that be?
Re tseisa man ha re le babedi re bua ka ntho tsa bohloka ka bana ba rona, and he was very proud of his children.
Yes.
So re bua taba tsa hore o isa mosadi cruising ke thabile mo ke mo thabetse ke shebile hore ka Sontaga ha re kopana mo re kopanang teng re tlo bua ke tlo sheba dinepe o tsebe re ile di show tse pedi together re ile show nya Thandiswa Mazwai Gold Reef monate re thabile ra o shebella John Fleeceman. Re bua ntho tsa bohlokwa a mpolella hore o batla ho producer something ka di legends di ke di reminisce mane ne batho ba bona hore re tswa kae ke ntho tsene re tlo di etsa. And ke hopola ka 2012
yes
ka ANC centenary Mangaung bana ba re buketse Welcome empa ile re tlo sebetsa kae Bloemfontein ka re ska wa re share wena ngwaneso ya ba ke mo isa ho ba heso re sa di braai mono ba ra Ntate Jo ha thi o thotse ha kale Jo o na tshehisa ha arata.
Really?
Joe could be serious.
So it wasn't an everyday.
Like, Lina.
Hey. No, I don't believe that about you, Mama. That you really can be serious and not, really.
You put on tattoo.
Let's bring you into the conversation. I mean, Mama has just, you know, told a great, you know, relationship that they had over many years, many events they went to, the fact that he was planning a cruise and his mind clearly was also still very sharp. He wanted to still, you know, work on a project. So all of this, and you've also had an amazing career. So what do you fondly remember?
I'm sorry, before he answers, he did go on that cruise.
He did go on the cruise.
Yes, he came back on Friday and died on Saturday.
Are you serious?
Serious.
My goodness.
And the wife was so happy. People like why were not uli Mosotho tlonyalo ke le chakana? I don't know, man. Nna le ke Motswana. I don't want to bua Setswana.
Yes.
By the time ke fumana hore ke le Fenta, nna ne ke sa tsebe hore
ke le Fenta. Oh my
sorry,
goodness.
Tati. No,
Oh,
it's okay,
Vic,
it's
you know,
okay.
you really lived a life that was full. My gosh.
Yeah, and now, Mama, I would start by saying it was an honor for me to work Librajo. And I wouldn't compare myself to Mam Lillian. Now, just behind them, Kifit Lemra, Bonabadi, Kidi gramophone. And not the Haifa. So much as the period TV one, but I was blessed to work with Brajo and very close. We became friends. We used to travel a lot together. We'd be invited in different areas and different towns, both Swaziland and raise funds for the projects the government.
My gosh.
And to his attitude towards work. Like Asho Mamlile Narnamutkin Atutsi. Hasebita Bracho with scripts high, he's focused and white even twice. And another thing that I've learned from him, Kore, his acting is not based on a book. It's a personal research that
it's
I am saying
instinctive.
because he spent quality time locationing. Therefore, he could interpret every situation locationing. I'm sure the only time on television that you watched Spaza Shop you saw it in school. It's nice.
Yes.
Which you can watch any program on television now. There are so many things that you miss. So
real, authentic.
Brajo could he projected all the life of ordinary people in the town.
My gosh, and he did it amazingly well. I mean, we now get the chance to see, you know, It's Good Is Nice on SABC Encore. We have access to the DVDs and online. It's amazing. He was that person who reminded us that despite everything going on in the country, despite everything going on for black artists, there was still fun to be had. There was still, we could laugh at ourselves and enjoy ourselves. You know, having seen him more going up. I mean, we grew up watching, him and Mr. Kluwer, Mrs. Jacobus, so many projects. And everything that you say, he was a consummate professional because he wasn't there for the awards, the limelight. He was there because, like the both of you, because you genuinely actually love the profession. Just talking about his work ethic, Ma, and something that maybe the younger artists could take a leaf, from his career. What would you have to say about that and how they should carry themselves? Because not many people have careers of over 40 years.
No.
No. So what could be said about, how young people should carry themselves even now, going forward in the entertainment industry?
I think the reasons of being in the industry are different as compared to then when Brajo got into the industry. It was more of a calling, Brajo, and more of a commitment. Today, people have status, Baba Bita, the celebrity, and that kind of a thing. So during the era of Brajo, you got into the industry because you loved what you were doing, and you were fully involved in it. Unlike today it's more of a job. That is why some actors would say, no, the director has got to work around me. And instead, the other way around, you should work and do research and really get into the character.
Own the character.
That's the difference when we see you, how you see your television and in real life. So you have to be able to separate the two.
All right.
So I think what they should learn is that there is more to work than the face that you see on television. And the casting here today is totally different. People are more cast because of their appearances as compared as Gandhi it was more of a potential than the talent that you have.
I couldn't agree more. And just unfortunately again that, we are out of time, but the very, very true things, and again, maybe not the right time or place, but whenever do we get everybody in the industry to come together and say, there's so much that needs to change in the industry. Mama, what do we say? What do we do?
I think hona jwale bana ba tla ithuta because ba iponetse mane memorial ntate Mfundu Cholo a o batla Studio 5 se bitswe Joma Studio. Ntate, welcome to all the people bane ba le mole ka ofela ba bua ka humility ya ntate Jo. So ke batla bana ba rona ba copy ya ntho ya ro celebrity a ke tsebetswa kae jo lo ka ntate na wa sa tsholo mona ne re le mole o tlo bona humility ya Jo ha o shebile Congo Chebeleza.
What a song.
That was the best.
That's the thing. And
so naki tutile le rato ne ke morata dingata taba tsa Jo.
Of course.
Fela e kholo ke le rato. le humility.
Lerato, love and humility. Thank you so very much to the both of you. May his soul rest in peace. He's watching, and laughing and, so content. Thank you so very much for coming through. Yes, all right. Mama Lillian, and she says she's not funny. I mean, she just asked me how much they're getting paid. No, you're not getting paid, Mama. Have a seat. Hold on. Now, singer and songwriter Jacques Terreblanche will be playing us to break with his new single. It's titled Skinny Jeans and Converse. It was released earlier this month, and it was released by Jacques and produced by the legendary Mark Belling. Take it away, Jacques.
Die diepte van haar oor, ek kry nie einde. Ek raak verloor, ek dink ek droom. Ek sal haar altyd lief hê tot die einde. Vir ewig lank naby my hou. Die dae begin al loop, die word nou jare. Nog liefdevol, nog beautiful. Ek voel nog iets as ons kyk na mekaar. Dis in haar oor waarin ek glo. Haar skinny jeans en Converse, BMX en Ray-Bans, onesies in die ander, energie wat dit sy bring. Haar skinny jeans en Converse, BMX en Ray-Bans, onesies in die ander, energie wat dit sy bring. Nog elke aand onder die sterre, emosievol, nog passievol. Haar hoof wat helder skyn onder die maan, 'n hart wat klank, 'n siel wat stig. Haar skinny jeans en Converse, BMX en Ray-Bans, onesies in die ander, energie wat dit sy bring. Converse, BMX en Ray-Bans, onesies in die ander, energie wat dit sy bring. Altyd vry, bly sy.
Water-wise, water is an essential need. The scarcity of it could lead to loss of many lives, including livestock, plants, and much more. It requires us to use it sparingly and responsibly in times of need, failing which our taps and sanitation will not function. For more on water and weather issues, stay tuned to News Today, every Friday at 4:45 Central African Time. SABC News, making you water-wise.
Umphakathi wexwayiswa nga R200 imbumbulu. Kepha labanye bathi akusuye R200 kuphela lo inkinga.
Into sine problem nayo abo R100. Labo ke ababonakali awusheshi uyibone ukuthi ifake.
Iphuma phi pho imali imbumbulu?
Ahlanganise lamaphepha akamnyama afake R100 yamphakathi from lapha iclean kwavela ama R100 ayi3.
So can I trust you, sister? on money, I'm in the business of making money.
Ubese uthatha lo 100 rand lesimnike wona wawufaka emkhathini walamaphepha lamabili. Emva kwaloko uthethe stap lesimnyama wasigcobisa etikwalamaphepha. Emva kwekuyomisa le mali ubese usibuyisela lo 100 rand lesimnikete wona ekuqaleni. Uphinze wasibhanisela ngalomunye 100 rand.
Welcome back. You are still watching Trendz. What an amazing way we started the show today, paying tribute to SA's original king of comedy, Ntate Joe Mafela. And thank you so very much to Jacques Terblanche, who his song, Skinny Jeans and Converse. We're about to talk about that. He's here with me in studio, and it's his third Afrikaans single following his transition into Afrikaans music just last year. This is a guy who's been a pop and R&B singer all along. Welcome to Trendz, Jacques.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here.
I mean, I have to also mention, we did say it off air, but you have to wear the skinny jeans and the Converse.
Well, as I said to you, the song is actually about a little girl, and she grows up and she basically wears the skinny jeans and Converse.
Right.
And this is something the little guy falls in love with, because she's just a free spirit, and she wears her Ray-Bans, rocks her BMX, and that's basically what
carefree.
Indeed. So that's what the song is about.
Fantastic. So let's talk about, the transition into, the Afrikaans market. How have they received you? What prompted that change, having always been, an English singing musician? Is that even correct?
Correct. Yeah, no,
okay.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, what happened is my dad was Afrikaans, my mother is English. So we grew up English, and my mother won that battle. And my dad actually passed away just under 2 years ago now. And one of his favorite songs he introduced me to as a little guy was Droomvrou by Lucas Maria. Really, really beautiful track that we recorded. We released, obviously just a gamble. We put it out there, and the stars literally aligned, and the song did fantastically well around South Africa.
Amazing.
And so yeah, we're not looking back. We've created 2 more. They've all going well on the charts, and have achieved #1 status, so we're happy. It doesn't mean I'm not doing English anymore.
Yes.
It's just anything and everything.
Broadening your horizons, broadening your fan base, and all.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And so right now, what else do you sing about? You're saying, okay, it's sort of like a love story, skinny jeans and Converse, about a young girl and guy.
For sure.
And what else? comes up in your music. Are you traditional, mainstream? R&B and pop, Afrikaans?
Well, anything that really comes to me. I love telling stories. It's my favorite thing. So anything that kind of inspires me or influences me at that point, I'll write about. It really isn't one thing specific, but anything that makes me happy, and I guess makes everyone else happy out there. Yeah.
Okay, and what else do you do? Do you direct even like your music videos? Are you also dabbling behind the scenes in production?
For sure, I try to be as hands-on as possible. For this actual track, we're shooting off Nikon cameras and iPhones, and we're keeping it authentic, and working with a great producer and editor in Cape Town. So he's going to be piecing it together for us. But anything and everything, as I say, creatively that I can be involved with. I'm there like a bear.
There like a bear. I haven't heard that one before. Do you model? I'm looking at you now, I'm thinking model, Cosmo, something.
Thank you for that.
Definitely. So there we go. Maybe 2017, that's something else you should try.
I've dabbled in a bit of modeling in my career. Obviously, being a musician, you tend to get in front of the camera at times.
And image is, what will also sell you.
Definitely. So anything and everything to do with the industry, once again, I'm happy to do.
Fantastic. And where to from here? What does 2017 have in store for you? Where are you performing next? Who are you working with, or maybe going to collaborate with soon?
Yes, well, I'm actually working with Sony Select, and we're busy compiling an album at the moment. So that's pretty exciting, obviously Afrikaans material, and I'm just about to release a brand new English track called Face the Facts, with someone that everyone knows in South Africa, so that's pretty exciting for me. A mystery collab? No, absolutely not.
Can you please give us the exclusive on Trendz?
We've been playing obviously with the public out there. We've been teasing them a bit with obviously in studio, back behind the scenes type of footage. But very excited about that. And people can obviously reach me on Facebook.
Yes. Your Instagram handles.
Instagram Jacques_music. Twitter.
Yeah, because Terblanche, people might just spell it wrong.
Indeed. which is always the case.
Yeah.
Always the case. And
yeah,
so you guys can obviously find me there and see what's happening next.
Fantastic. And yeah, thank you so very much for coming through.
Thank you
it sounds like a very fun track. I think you're a very fun musician. I'd love to see you on stage, with the whole, band and everything. But thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you and learning a little bit more about the Afrikaans music industry.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
All right. And so here's a bit of music from Jock.
Haar skinny jeans en Converse, BMX en Ray-Bans, onesies in die ander, energie wat dit sy bring. Haar skinny jeans en Converse, BMX en Ray-Bans, onesies in die ander, energie wat dit sy bring.
Nice one. And so Transformers Animatronics, one of the most unique 3,000 square meter traveling exhibitions you'll ever lay your eyes on, is for the first time in South Africa. Young, old and everyone in between who want to marvel at this beauty can experience the global phenomenon and get to see their favorite Transformers in 3D and in real life size. Now Trendz was there at the opening night. Take a look.
Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee and the Rescue Bots will invade the African continent in Transformers Animatronics at the Emperor's Palace in Johannesburg. Following a successful Latin American tour, visitors can look forward to breathtaking sculptures made from red cars on display against the scenery of the legendary planet Cybertron that are brought to life through eye-popping performance technology.
It tells the story of the Transformers saga, which isn't just the movies we've seen. The Transformers brand has been around for 40 odd years, and it starts with a comic book and then it moves on to the toy series and then an animated series, and then lastly the incredibly successful film franchise.
The exhibition features 12 animated Transformers, 9 sculptures scaled between 2 meters and 11 meters made from car parts, and a further 20 statues varying in size, with favorites Optimus Prime and Bumblebee standing tall in all their glory, as well as our favorite villain Megatron. In addition, an impressive arsenal of weapons used by the Transformers characters will also be showcased.
There's two parts of it. Firstly, there's the assets or the robots themselves, which are made from reconstituted steel or recycled steel, and they're put together. They weigh an absolute, you cannot tell you how much they weigh. I think it's between 750 kilograms to 1.2 tons for each sculpture. So to get them from overseas to South Africa is quite an undertaking. They come on ships, and then we have to build the exhibition. And building the exhibition itself, of course, entails walls and lights and activation and decor and all the rest of it. So all in all, to try and build an exhibition like this is an enormous challenge. It takes an enormously big team. But once it's done, I think it's worthwhile because it gives the fan or the viewer the opportunity to get as close as possible to the real thing.
Visitors can immerse themselves in the incredible universe of Optimus Prime and his companions. It takes you on a journey from its origins in the world of comics to the television series and blockbuster movies. Autobots and Decepticons also feature prominently, accompanied by the latest Dinobots and famous Rescue Bots, the famed preschool series that has expanded the Transformers fanbase.
I thought it was just going to be, when I heard of the animatronics, I thought it was going to be robots walking around. But now I see that it's even more awesome with recycled metal, so it's really cool.
I'm not a big fan, but when it comes to understanding it, I think it's amazing, and that we should share this with other people.
I like the dinosaurs and when they stand out and show how they move and the sounds. It's amazing.
The exhibition will run until the 28th of May at the Emperor's Palace before making its way to Centurion in Pretoria and lastly the Grand West in Cape Town. The 5th installment of the Transformers film series is due for release in June this year.
Wow, sounds like an amazing exhibition indeed. And now for a golden oldie that I definitely remember from my childhood years, imagine a plot that goes like this. A group of high school outcasts stumble upon an alien ship where they acquire superpowers and are dubbed the Power Rangers. Now, learning that an old enemy of the previous generation has returned to take vengeance, the group must harness their powers and use them to work together and save the world. The film opened in cinemas this weekend. Take a look. This is the all-new Power Rangers.
The difference between the series of Power Rangers and the movie is significant. We had to pay homage to it and yet reinvent a new way of expressing itself.
It's a reimagining on a much bigger level, a much bigger scale.
You 5 are the Power Rangers. Any other questions?
Are we more like Iron Man or Spider-Man?
During high school, I was a huge fanboy, so I ran home from school every single day to watch Power Rangers.
I used to dream about being a Power Ranger. I've been practicing the last 18 years, you know.
My suit, once I saw it for the first time, I was like, whoa, this is real.
It's morphin' time.
Dude, I'm a Power Ranger, this is amazing.
I think it takes you back to being a kid and you can't help but just start to do fight poses.
Okay, now that's cool!
People are gonna see something that's not just a superhero movie, it's not just a teen movie. It's a really interesting story.
This is your destiny.
This movie is really incredible, and there's a lot of nods to all of the big mythology from the series, and the action is just amazing.
Let's go! That adrenaline push that Power Rangers gives you is in this movie tenfold.
None of us really know each other.
We're all screw-ups.
But somehow, we were all in the same place at the same time when Billy found those coins.
Guys, check out how we glow. I'm blue.
Oh, I'm black.
What?
I am.
No, you're not.
No.
Do you feel weird?
We're strong.
Insanely strong.
The answer to what is happening to you is here. You 5 are the Power Rangers.
Did I just hear you say we're Power Rangers?
Is this some kind of joke? We're talking to a wall.
I was kind of expecting a little more.
So where were you last night? Me and 4 kids found a spaceship buried underground. I'm pretty sure I'm a superhero. Cool.
Pee in that cup.
Power Rangers were a legion of warriors. You must become those warriors.
It's just a hologram, like a video game.
That's a strong-ass hologram.
Not a video game.
You were born for this.
I will destroy everything.
She is pure evil.
How do you expect us to stop her?
It's morphin' time.
Do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it. No one man should have all that power.
It's a lot of gold.
This is your destiny.
Let's go! Go!
This is your time.
People are dying in the Eastern Cape. They can't reach hospitals in emergency situations.
Hello, man. I love the ambulance.
By national standards, the Eastern Cape has the least developed road network. The round trip is almost 13 hours long and takes a heavy toll on Nolibele's already pain-ridden body. Nofundile's need to get to the hospital and back is bankrupting her family.
Siyesambizela i-ambulance. I-ambulance ayavuma ukuza ngaloo mini kwada kwasa. Ndingatsho ndithi udlale indima enkulu apha ekuswelekeni kasisi.
Cold weather is good news for farmers battling the fall armyworm.
Soldiers of misfortune, and it has no natural combat enemy in South Africa yet.
A mother in Diepsloot is fighting for answers after a baby died at a local creche.
When they handed the baby to me, I said boy boy, but he was unresponsive and his hands were very cold. When I opened his eyes, I knew something was wrong.
Daycare mothers even changed his nappy and handed the already dead child to the unsuspecting mother.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trends. So this weekend, Monte Casino plays host to some of the biggest names in R&B dating back to the 1960s. The Whispers, the Stylistics, and special guest Lenny Williams all touched down in South Africa this past week, performing their first concert last night, with 2 more to follow today. Our producer Nadia Adams caught up with some of the guys ahead of their performances. They're legends, they're not guys.
It's been 50 years since world-renowned R&B group The Whispers took to the stage for the first time in the 60s. And now, 50 years later, they're still going strong. And they're back in South Africa performing this weekend, right here in Johannesburg.
Known for their smooth, soulful ballads, they remain one of the world's premier R&B groups with a musical mix of R&B, disco, jazz and pop. They have achieved 33 top hits over 3 decades and over 20 Billboard charted albums, with a string of hits: In the Mood, And the Beat Goes On, Rocksteady, It's a Love Thing, and One for the Money.
We've just been very, very fortunate because we never dreamed that we would be here for 50 plus years. Had anyone said to us, you're going to be singing 50 years from now, we'd have laughed at them, you know. But we think it's a tribute to the music that we sing, and it's a tribute to us, you know, not bragging, but to be around for 50 years, that's kind of doing it, and we're proud of it.
The Whispers' 5 decades of accomplishments have been acknowledged by an induction into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame and presentation of the Governor's Award by the San Francisco chapter of the Grammy Awards.
I think it's the biggest thing is staying true to who you are. You know, if you try to do anything that you're not, I mean, you notice when you hear our songs, you don't hear any rap in it. And a lot of artists have resorted to throwing a rap artist on their songs. We haven't resorted to that. We stay with good lyrics, try to come up with good hooks, good melodies, and do what we do best, just sing the song. And we make sure that the message is about letting our ladies know how we feel about them, whether we're married to them, whether they're our girlfriend or our fiance, that, you know, we're not talking about, you know, riding them like you do our Jeep, which was in a song. We talk about making love and longevity in a relationship. And I think when you have that kind of lyrics in there, it just holds longevity, because people want to romance their wives or romance their husbands, and we put out lyrics that allow them to do that.
The Stylistics were formed in Philadelphia, PA in 1966 from 2 groups, the Percussions and the Monarchs. Their first song, You're a Big Girl Now, became a #1 hit in Philadelphia and a few other cities. After the success of You're a Big Girl Now, the band followed up with an album release. The album was titled The Stylistics, and from that album came the hits Stop, Look, Listen to Your Heart, You Are Everything, and Betcha by Golly Wow.
Hey guys, we're out here at Monte Casino with the Stylistics. Can you believe it? So, guys, it's been a career that spanned over 50 years.
Right.
Can you give us some insight? Herb, you were there from the get-go. Can you give us some insight into what it's been like?
It's been great. We've been very fortunate in our career to be associated with good songwriters, good producers, and the likes of Tom Bell, Gamblin' and Huff. They gave us those earlier hits of You're Everything, Stone in Love with You, Betcha by Golly Wow. And it's been a good ride, and we're blessed to still have our fan base around us.
Definitely, we're very popular over here overseas. Was, like I said, get us an opportunity to come back again. It's really good. With the, like I say, with the hit records that we have, you know, Betcha by Golly Wow, Stone in Love with You, people still playing those records.
I still play them, quite honestly. Anything special planned for us this evening?
Oh, we're going to try to do as many hits as possible. Of course, star on the TV show, Sing Baby Sing, Can't Give You Anything But My Love, and of course, You Make Me Feel Brand New. And the list goes on. So we'll try to give as much as we can with the time that has been allotted to the group.
Okay, Jason, you're relatively new to the group. What has your sound brought to the group?
Well, I think my sound has brought a nice flavor to the group. You know, sticking to the way that things were done in the past, you kind of roll them over to the present and try to stick to the script. You know, everything's been written a certain way, so you want to try to duplicate that sound as much as you can. And I think I bring that definitely to the group.
The hits continued with the release of their second album, Round 2, and the Stylistics forever became known as the Philly group with the sweet love songs.
Wow, certainly looks amazing. Now moving on to another kind of festival, said to be a one-of-a-kind event featuring music, culture and food experiences. 10 festivals altogether and hundreds of parties each year, with the first festival making a big arrival back in 2015 in Cape Town. Now fresh from bringing Cape Town one of the sexiest and smoothest festivals it has ever seen, Johannesburg, it is now your turn because the Sunsets Festival is coming here. Now it has a stellar lineup on 2 stages, Crown and Griffin as well stages, and of course in studio right now I have one of the DJs who will be performing there, and this is CAPO. CAPO, welcome to Trendz. It's a pleasure. We've been having a bit of a chat over here in terms of what is happening with you. So it's 2017. What is CAPO busy with?
Okay, well, 2017 I'm currently working on the album, which is due to drop next month in April, month end.
Okay.
So yeah, that's actually the main
thing that you're busy with.
That I'm busy with.
Okay.
Other than that, we're doing a couple of events. On the 31st, we're actually hosting our own event in Carfax.
Okay.
Yeah, in Newtown.
Carfax, and then the first, it's the Sunsets Festival at Muldersdrift.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so last year you released your EP called Touched.
True.
And it just, people took to it. It was crazy. It's still doing very well. So tell us about, what single you currently have out, and what kind of, will there be differences in kind of your sound? Because you've worked with quite a few different vocalists as well.
True.
So what can people expect from your body of work?
Okay, well, Touched was a 6-song EP. I featured one of the best talented vocalists, which is Trezor. And I featured Runaway as well. She's from Russia.
Oh, nice.
And then there's a couple of artists.
So very international. Trezor is amazing, very underrated, and he's doing amazing things, and so humble.
That's true. And then and for the album that I'm dropping this year, I'll be mainly focusing on featuring underground artists.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like I try to at least
unearth
bring out
new talent,
unearth new
and that's
talent,
always important. Because you also at some point were that guy who was trying to get somebody to give you a chance,
True.
So and other than that, you have your your album then dropping next month.
Yes.
And so you mentioned they're working with someone like Monewa. She's not underground. She's amazing. I wish you guys came together so that she could sing for us in studio.
Okay, as for Monewa, we are currently trying to get things together.
Okay.
It's not solid yet, but then we're still trying to try to bring it all together.
Right.
But other than that, there's quite a few artists that I really needed to feature on the album, but then I couldn't.
Yeah.
Mara,
there's more tracks. There's more tracks. There's more time. There's a whole career ahead of you.
That's true.
And what I do have to kind of mention now is you've kind of been around, but not around for that long. But there has been some controversy and record label things. And who doesn't have record label issues right now? Like, what's going on, guys? It's 2017. There is just so much. But is everything cool now? Are you happy where you are? Are things calm?
Everything is proper now.
Okay.
I'm starting to even learn the business side of things.
As you should.
Exactly.
As you should. So what's important? What are the lessons that you've learned from this experience in terms of maybe owning your sound, owning your music, and also just little things about paperwork that many, many young musicians don't, look at?
True. I didn't know about Sambro at first. Like the Rights Music Organization, whereby you collect money for the songs that we play on radio and TV as well. So I've learned more about that, and then I've learned a lot about copywriting music. And then I've learned a lot about releasing music.
And are you learning this by yourself, or going to Samro to say, please teach me, please,
Well, okay, some info I get it from Samro, some info I get it from the office.
Right.
I have one of the best managers that actually showed me a couple of, things that...
Who isn't trying to cheat you.
True.
All right, now I hear you. But I mean, of course, for other young musicians, it's important to read, to know what you're signing up for, because tables can turn in literally a split second.
That's true.
So other than that, fine, we're happy all of that is sorted. Sunsets Festival takes place next weekend. What can people expect when they see you up there rocking the crowds?
Okay, well, it's my first time playing at the Sunset event. I don't know what I'm going to dish out, because I don't know how the crowd looks like.
Are you that guy who kind of feels the crowd and gets a feel for what's going on?
I need to get to the event a bit earlier so that I could learn what the crowd has.
You don't play from a USB?
No, I do not.
La ropa. Some of y'all cheat us.
We're going with the technology.
Yes. That's cool. All right, so Multisdrift next weekend, that's where it's happening. And also Carfax on Friday. That's the 31st.
Yes.
You'll be playing there with anybody else?
Yes, we have an international headliner all the way from Germany called Heiner.
Nice.
And then we have DJ Speedstars on the lineup as well.
Oh, Mr. Mayo.
Yeah, Mr. Mayo. And then we have Pang Bezi.
Okay.
And we have Jazwal, Cat Like Cat.
A whole big lineup. Okay, so people must check out, the poster is up there on the screen right now for the Sunsets Festival, but also your Twitter handle is?
Twitter is the CAPO SA.
The CAPO SA.
And then Facebook is the CAPO.
The CAPO. All the information is there. Thank you so very much. Pleasure meeting you. And do big things. We'll be looking forward to hearing more from you soon.
Thank you.
Nice one. All right, so we are giving away 2 double tickets to the Sunsets Festival taking place next weekend, and all you have to do is give us the name of the stages, post them on our Twitter page. It's @Trendz on SABC. And like I said, you could be winning yourself a fantastic time if you're not going to Cape Town next weekend and you're wondering what could be done in Johannesburg. Here is a gig. And even if you don't win, please check it out, because Multisdrift is not that far. We're going to an ad break. We'll be back just after this.
The only way to pour the perfect beer, this professional barman would tell you, is into a glass tilted at exactly 45 degrees. Oh, bless you. Bless you, sir. Bless you again. Well, we'd say the perfect way to pour a beer is at this angle, straight into your mouth.
Buy a Castle Light 18-pack handies for the price of 12 at just $99.99 from Tops at Spar.
Welcome back. You are still tuned to Trendz. Aimed at honoring the efforts and victories of women who light the way, the new Hyundai Creta launch had trailblazing women from all spheres of life gathered to switch on their headlights in ode to all our strengths and accomplishments. The women's prison at Constitution Hill was a hub of activity and a whole lot of gorgeousness. Take a look.
inspiration drawn from this 1978 hit single I Am Every Woman by Shaka Khan. There could not have been an appropriate song to honor and recognize women of color who have made their mark in their various fields. Fast forward, the journey of women in color has been nothing but inspiring.
You know, my journey is one of evolution, really. It's one of a woman who worked in the broadcast industry, and every day my job was to bring bad news about what's going wrong in the country, doom and gloom, stories of corruption, stories of injustice of one way or another. But then I decided, instead of just telling people what's going wrong, how about I put my hand to the plow and do something about it? And along with a number of other phenomenal women, we decided to start an organization called Bukobami Youth Center in Dobsonville in Soweto, and we decided we want to be the change that we want to see in the country.
She came to the limelight after her first album, Simply Lovely, and has worked with international superstars such as Kanye West and Snoop Dogg, making a name for herself in the music industry. So how has singer Leanne Dlamini used her voice to give back to young girls?
Social media has been my biggest medium of getting through to people, and I'm using it to my advantage to impact people and just to spread the message to women and girls of all ages, all races, and to let them know that you can achieve your goals as long as you work hard enough, network, make the right connections, and just stay committed to your dream. You can get there.
She's a well-known media personality who has used her voice to make a difference.
I'm very excited about what Lahande Kreta is doing with hashtag Kreta Light the Way, because they've really expanded it to every woman who is impacting her world in some kind of way. So whether it is the woman in one of the many industries, whether it's the woman who is impacting, bringing her power into the home, the woman who is making a difference in society. And for me, I think it's always very important to recognize these women.
Poet and TV personality Lebo Mashile, known for her lyrical and gutsy poems, says not much has changed in the media industry to accommodate women of color.
I think the industry has gotten worse, in fact. When I look at my peers and people who I was benchmarking against, you know, when I started out, I've been on stage for the last 17 years. I'm 38 years old. I started performing when I was 21. I started on television when I was 24. And when I look at the people who were around at the time, there was a wider spectrum in terms of the women who were visible at that time. So I could benchmark myself against anybody. You know, I could benchmark myself against Redi Tlabi, against Judith Sepuma, against Thandiswa. You know, there was such a great variety of women. And now I feel like the window has gotten a lot narrower. It's become a much more superficial window as well. I mean, I've heard about production houses who say that they won't hire you unless you've got 100,000 followers and you're light-skinned, you know, which is... It's stupid and crass and cruel and racist and misogynistic and dangerous.
Apart from the amazing lineup, guests were spoiled to a stellar performance by King Ta. Hashtag Women Light the Way.
It definitely looks like it was an amazing, amazing event. So yeah, we've come to the end of another episode of Trendz. It's been amazing. I've had legends here in studio. Ndate Don Mlangeni Nawa, better known as Brazeb. I think we all grew up knowing him as Brazeb on Isidingo. And of course, the ever bubbly and full of life Mama Lillian Dube, who was also here sharing what they fondly remember about Ndate Joe Mafela. And of course, just a few little things that, you know, it doesn't matter, I guess, how great our artists are. It always just happens sometimes that industry politics always gets in the way. But of course, if you are passionate about what you do, keep on doing it, and someday your star will be recognized. We are playing out with one of Dada Joe Mafela's most loved songs, Shebeleza. I remember this from when I was a kid as well. So yeah, goodbye, see you next week, and a happy weekend, everybody.